Once again, I'm taking it back to the 80s, this time 1985, with The Last Dragon. You gotta have that like shake. So you know, like, you're serious. You're about to go martial arts on there. The Last Dragon was written by Louis Venosta, and it was directed by Michael Scholes. It stars Ty Mock, Vanity, and Julius Carey. So Barry Gordy of Motown Records is one of the producers on this film, and I think that he completely elevated this film because a lot of the music, and this film has heavy music. They even have a hit by El DeBarge, freaking awesome, and they show his music video in this. Now normally I would tell you, this is where I'm not gonna spoil, you know, the movie for you. The movie's freaking old, okay? Super old. I may not spoil the entire movie, but I'm also not gonna freaking do too much to keep spoilers completely at bay because I have to get into the nitty-gritty on this film. Leroy Green is a young martial artist living in New York, and his desire is to become a master of the martial arts. Of course, his hero is Bruce Lee. I mean, he's pretty much obsessed with Bruce Lee, which is actually very cute and very sweet. And so his goal is to become a master and achieve the glow, which apparently, like, that's the pinnacle of martial arts. As it turns out, the final level of this martial arts mastery is called The Last Dragon. There's a secondary story with a singer named Laura Charles, and she hosts a music television show called Seventh Heaven, and a mob kingpin wants her to put his girlfriend up on her show her videos, show her music, get her name out there. Her music is questionable. Personally, I think it's rather fantastic and very humorous. I would put it on my show. I mean, I'd probably put anything on this show, though. I don't have much standards, okay? Needless to say, Laura doesn't want to put her music on, refuses to, and so this mob boss gets angry and wants to force her to do it. So where does Shonuff come in? Well, he is the local master of martial arts, and you know, quite frankly, he's tired of hearing about Leroy because people are talking about how great Leroy is and how he can catch bullets in his mouth and all this stuff, and he's sick of it. So he has decided to make it his own personal war, you know, take him out. It just so happens that the mob boss wants the same thing, so they kind of join forces to take Leroy down. Leroy has a brother who is obsessed with Laura, and he goes and watches her show be filmed, and he thinks he has a chance with her. Of course he doesn't. He's a child. He's just a child. Like, he's like 10 or 11, maybe 12. I don't know. Hard to tell. But he is way cooler than his brother Leroy, and he's pretty much embarrassed of Leroy because Leroy is nerdy, he's very respectful, very sweet, and he's the opposite of that. And he's like, you weren't going to be able to get her. And of course, does he? I don't know. Maybe I won't give that quite away. Obviously, he's going to get the girl. I mean, that's the whole point of it. And the ending scene when he's like all in white, it's beautiful. This film is a piece of cinematic history. It did not do well when it first came out, but obviously now it is a cult classic. Tons of people love this film. Now, I still know that too many people don't know about this film or haven't seen this film, and I advise you to please watch this film because it's freaking amazing. Shockingly, this is one of the few films that I actually do own. I like it that much. I have seen this film more times than I can possibly count. I absolutely love this. I saw it as I was just a child and fell in love with Ty Mock. This film does touch on some serious stereotypes here. I just want to like put that disclaimer out there. So I don't know if this could be made today in the same way. It's whoa. But I also can contextualize when this was made. I feel like in the weirdest way, they're kind of trying to honor some of that in not maybe the best way, if that makes sense. This cast is amazing. Not only do these three stellar stars lead the show, there's a ton of other amazing cast members in this. William H. Macy is in this. There's a few names that you might know or you might recognize, even though they had small little parts. But I will tell you that no one, not one single member of this cast steals the show like Julius Carry as Sho'nuff. Oh my God. He's amazing. Now, this movie is absolutely hilarious. Very, very, very funny. And it is campy. It's quite campy, in fact. And what's crazy about his performance is not only is he just up to that line of camp, but there's just something about him, his performance, that's so freaking believable. I mean, it's that good. There is a moment when he is in the dad's pizza shop. Get your pizza to Daddy Green's Pizza. That's like their tagline. And he's like, I'm looking for Leroy. I'm looking for Leroy Green. And the dad is like, oh, you mean Junior? And he's like, yes. It's just so good. Man, like, there's a reason why everyone cosplays him, because the character is just mind-blowingly amazing. When Taimak was cast in this film, he actually had never acted in anything before. So this was his first role, and he was only 19 years old. I have to say that probably lends a lot of the sweetness and the innocence to his character that just comes across as so sweet and so real and so precious. Because there is something about his character and something about the overall feel of the film. Leroy's relationship with Laura is so cute and innocent, and there's just something really beautiful about that. What's fascinating about this is that multiple people auditioned for Leroy's character, and among them are Mario Van Peebles, Wesley Snipes, and Lawrence Fishburne. However, Denzel Washington also apparently auditioned for this role, and Sho'nuff. I've got to be honest, while those are all phenomenal actors, there is no better casting than the two leads that they have on this film. I don't think that anyone else could pull off Sho'nuff the way Julius did. I mean, he has the complete perfect embodiment of that character. Campy, but real. Like, genuinely just so good. That takes a particular brand of being able to be crazy that not everyone has, you know? Clearly, I don't have a problem with that. I could just watch this movie just to watch him because I think he's that phenomenal in this. And Leroy has such a sweet innocence to his character that I don't know that anyone else could pull off. I think it's great that it was his first film and he probably didn't know what he was doing and he was probably very nervous, and it shows. And that's actually what you were kind of going for there. I don't know if that's something that can really be faked, you know? Now, it is important to note that Taimak actually is a martial artist, and I don't know what level he's at, but he obviously was in very good shape in this film and knew what he was doing. And I think some of the stunts actually were his own. I think one of the arrows that he deflects was actually his. Also with Sho'nuff, I know he's like 6'6", and for a dude that's 6'6", he's remarkably agile. Like, I am very flexible, but I'm short. I'm only 5'2", so like I have no problems like doing whatever. But someone of that height, my brother is 6'5", and he is not. He is definitely more like glomp, glomp, glomp. So it's pretty shocking how flexible Julius is in this character, because as I was watching, I was like, man, he's actually moving really well. His character's outfits are freaking amazing. The costuming on this movie, whoa. Sho'nuff, top dog for sure. What's hilarious about it is like he wears his gis with like Converse. I don't know why that's so funny to me, but the Converse kind of make it. Leroy's outfits are great. He wears some gis and very traditional attire. Vanity wears these amazing like gorgeous dresses and she looks amazing and her hair is perfect, her makeup. Mob boss and his girlfriend are very much a Lex Luthor, Miss Tessmacher kind of situation. Miss Tessmacher! And she's like, yeah, such a great singer, and I totally like do all this stuff. And her character was based on Cyndi Lauper, which makes a lot of sense. Very sweet character though. She's very likable. She doesn't love what her boyfriend is doing, how he's trying to go about giving her fame, which I admire and I like about her. And yeah, you wind up really liking her. And she does wear these crazy outfits. Like, it's very, very funny. And honestly, her songs are fun and entertaining. To be completely honest with you, Vanity has a moment where she has a music video, and I remember just being in love with her. And her music video portion came up. I still think she's absolutely stunning here, but when the music portion of her video came up, I was like, song isn't great, not gonna lie to you. Her dancing is okay, I guess. She does this thing where all I think is Bride of Frankenstein. You know, kind of thing, and I'm like, that explains it. That explains my attraction to her. That freakiness made me like her. Because when I look at her, I'm like, she's sweet. She's so sweet and kind of innocent looking. I feel like I would destroy someone like that. But then you see the music video and it's crazy. She's kind of crazy. So that, I think, is what I'm picking up on. Like that craziness. And I'm attracted to that, you know. It's fine. I'm fine. What's funny about this film too is if you've watched any Bruce Lee films, then you can see the homages to Bruce Lee films, like his martial arts instructor and some of the stuff that he does, and even the faces and the way they film it are very reminiscent to some of his films, and I really love that. They actually do also show some Bruce Lee films throughout, and there's a really cute moment where Leroy and Laura are, you know, at her studio and she puts on a video and it's like Bruce Lee and he's like, oh, she's like trying to make the moves on him.
Why'd you teach me some moves?
Because he doesn't have any moves. I love the whole thing because he's like watching. He's like, Bruce Lee, yeah, this is wonderful. She's like, hey, what's up? And he's like, am I supposed to be watching him or her? I don't know what. I'm so confused. It's precious. Absolutely precious. Let me tell you a little bit about the comedy here so you can decide for yourself if this is something you'd like to watch or not. Maybe not. Might be too much for some of you. And I would understand that, actually. Shonuff calls him the Shogun of Harlem, which is a great freaking name anyway. And he goes into a Bruce Lee film showing, and obviously everyone is Bruce Lee fans, and he's there with his crew. They're like 80s punk music video rejects, and they like go in and then they like line up for him to like walk down the middle. It is just ridiculous, okay? And then you have Leroy at the front of the theater watching Bruce Lee because, you know, that's his hero, and he's eating popcorn with chopsticks. Shonuff calls Leroy Green Bruce Leroy. Ha ha, clever. Honestly, even though that it is 80s technology, the technology isn't horrible. I don't care. I don't care. I still watch it and I still like it. There is nothing like that final fight scene. They're going about this fight. He starts dunking Leroy in that little tank. Leroy starts having these images of like things that have been happening and about how his martial arts master instructor, you know, was like, there's one place you're not looking for, the master. And then Vanity, you sure look like a master to me. Then, you know, he has that moment where it all clicks and he's got his glove. So obviously, of course, Leroy is the good guy and Shonuff is the bad guy. And Shonuff has these amazing costumes and wears red all the time, and so his glow is red. That would be my personal preference, but whatever. And Leroy is gold, solid gold. And then Shonuff's like, who's the master? And he's like, I am. And he catches like that punch. It's wonderful. Leroy does not show this much emotion throughout the entire film and to this point, and he just stops Shonuff and he's like, He gets totally crazy, okay? And then sure enough, it's like, he's having problems performing. Like, his glow is like, psst, 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 psst. I mean, it happens. And then there's some kicks, and when the glow of the gold meets the glow of the red, it makes blue, which doesn't make any sense, but I don't care. And it's delicious. You are the master, Leroy Green. You know who the master is? This film is the master, that too. Yeah, it is. Every aspect of this movie is, even if you don't even like martial arts films, I don't think you need to like martial arts films to watch this movie, because it's just cute and funny and kind of crazy, and you watch it for these performances and for the music and for the nostalgia, because this is definitely nostalgia. It is a quintessential 80s film. I mean, every part of it sings 80s from the mountaintops, for sure. This is one of my favorite movies of all time. If you have not seen it, what are you doing with your life? Have you seen The Last Dragon? Are you planning on watching The Last Dragon? What's your favorite 80s film? It doesn't have to be horror. It can be anything. Let me know in the comments below. And as always, I really do hope that you have the most amazing day, my spooky darlings. Also, I would like to thank my Patreon members. You are wonderful. I really appreciate you being there for me. I love you dearly. When I say who's the master, you say show enough. I mean, yeah, I will. I will. What? So good.